and therefore something completely different from the previous two presentations. But in fact, that's not true, because actually we do lots of cross-disciplinary research with our colleagues in engineering, especially our manufacturing engineers. But also we do work with civil engineers and even from the School of Architecture as well, looking at the built environment. And we also have colleagues looking at healthcare management as well. Also, internally, within the business school, we're actually quite multidisciplinary. I don't know what people think a business school is like. I mean, formally we are a social science department, but we have people there from economics. You know, we've got a strong strand in economics. We have a strong strand in accounting and finance, marketing and strategy, human resource management, and where I'm from is logistics and operations management. And within logistics and operations management, we have engineers like myself. We have economists. We've got people with expertise in management, geography, law, and so on. So we're quite a multidisciplinary bunch. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of the business school core competencies, which is the first part of my presentation. I'll also then expand a bit more on that in terms of our research interests and how our research helps create knowledge, which we then use forums or media like A4B in order to transfer knowledge, okay, or knowledge exchange as well, get knowledge back from industry. I'll give you a very brief overview of a particular case study that uses some of the technologies that I'll mention with regards to the A4B project, and then also some other business offerings that we have within the business school. In terms of our school, we were very pleased actually with our last research assessment exercise. You'll see there on the right-hand side our ranking. Out of 90 business schools in the UK, we came fourth. Also, out of the top 4, we're the largest business school. So we have a very strong critical mass. Like I say, we're quite a broad-based business school with different interests. I think, for example, Imperial and Cambridge, they're about half our size in terms of the number of staff that actually were submitted to the research assessment exercise. It's very important as well to highlight that it is very much about knowledge creation. Okay, that's where we see our research as fitting in with the knowledge transfer. And also importantly to highlight that in terms of my particular interest in logistics and operations management, again, out of the top 4 there, we're the only ones that really do have a critical mass in logistics and operations management. None of the others could claim that in the top 4. When we talk about research, it's important to highlight that, especially in the logistics and operations management field, we do actually work very closely with industry. But I've got to highlight that actually it's really using industry as a laboratory, okay, and not as a playing ground, as one of my colleagues has said in the past, okay. That's very important to highlight that. In the center there of that diagram, what I'm trying to show there is really just the processes that we apply when we actually do work with industry. Obviously understanding organizational strategy, see how the research we do fits with their overall strategy. Select particular business processes, whether it's, for example, new product introduction, for example, new technology introduction, or material delivery. And then we set up task forces, so joint working. Yeah, so it's co-creation of knowledge with industry. You know, we think that's a crucial part of the kind of research that we do. We obviously then apply a structured method. Okay, systematic approach, rigorous approach to our research, jointly again with industry, and then actually either suggest implementation strategies or actually later on get involved in implementation strategies, either with the companies we worked with in the research or other companies who could benefit from the research creation. On the right-hand side, on the left-hand side there, it's important to realize as well when we're doing the research, we're actually transferring knowledge as part of the research because we look at best practice. Okay, we look at what current knowledge already exists, and then for what new knowledge needs to be created. Yeah, then we take the outputs from the research we do with industry, and then feed that back into our database of knowledge. Okay, so it's a continuous a flow of knowledge creation, a cycle of knowledge creation. This kind of research is more recently been called research in the wild. Okay, the research councils have described it as research in the wild, very applied research. Okay, so researchers going out and getting their hands dirty in the wild, in real life, as it were. Okay, that's a key part. As an example, which happens to be an example of the leader of the A4B project I'm going to mention, Okay, it's Dr. Yingli Wang. Okay, so she's the leader of our project. Unfortunately, she's not here today because she's on maternity leave. Just had a little baby boy. But she was seconded, as an example of the research that she did, she was seconded for 3 to 4 months, so working with Tesco, looking at development of novel performance measures. At the time, Tesco were just introducing their new format, retail format, Tesco Express, and they wanted to look at their distribution networks, their logistics, their transport, and see whether or not they needed different performance measures compared to their extra stores, for example, the metro stores and online stores as well. Again, in terms of what industry thought about this was just an example, a quote from the industrial partner. Importantly, it brings something new. Okay, it's not just consultancy, all right? It's not just transferring knowledge. It's actually creating new knowledge and bringing something totally different to the table. Since we're talking about Yingli Wang, so that goes on nicely then to the A4B project. Again, I'll just give you a bit of a brief background to the project, the motivation. Again, it came from our previous research. What we're trying to offer to industry and the timescales involved with the program.